Chichester Harbour. Now this is where several slender channels from the sea stretch inland towards its cathedral city in Sussex. It is an area of outstanding natural beauty. Meeting at the county border with Hampshire, it reaches the English Channel between West Wittering and Hayling Island. This is a very flat landscape, not many hills, so the photographer has to look for other features to aid composition. It is only a harbour in name, but it does play host to thousands of light vessels. There are 4 main channels, Chichester being the most easterly, and then Bosham, Thorney, and finally Emsworth. They have been navigable for hundreds of years and were certainly known to the Saxons and, before them, the Romans, under whose rule Fishbourne Palace at the head of Chichester Channel was established. A protected area, but its greatest threat comes from the sea, clearly seen at Easthead, a shingle spit of sand dunes and marron grass bordering West Wittering and extending into the harbour. It was acquired by the National Trust in 1966 and since then has doubled in size. It is constantly on the move and in danger of becoming an island. Calmer waters are soon encountered once the narrow channel separating Easthead from Hayling Island is negotiated. Sailing up Chichester Channel, the first village is Itchenor, where boats can be launched, making excellent photographic subjects, particularly for foreground interest. Old and new sit side by side at Birdham. Chichester Marina is separated only by the Chichester Canal. It is hoped that this section of the canal can be restored so that boats can reach the centre of Chichester once more where it finishes. Birdham Pool lays claim to be the oldest marina in the country, whereas across the canal the Chichester Marina is one of the most up-to-date, but photographically I recommend that you stay at Birdham. At Dalkeith, the visitor has to jostle with the sailing fraternity, as well as patrons visiting the local pub. Back in the 18th century it was a busy port, one of the most important in England, but little of that remains today, and the visitor will be more interested now in the breathtaking views down Chichester Channel, back to the marinas and Itchenor, and possibly a romantic meal in the pub at sunset. Fishbourne lies at the head of Chichester Channel. It was here that a Romano-British palace was built in AD 75, and excavations started in the 1960s confirmed that it was extensive, one of the largest north of the Alps. It is thought that the original palace extended across the main road beyond the village pond to the channel, which would have been more navigable than it is today. Recent research now suggests that here was a rare example of a Roman water garden. Bosham Quay is the jewel in Chichester Harbour's crown. Clinging to the edge of its shoreline are cottages, a watermill, an old quayside and a church dating back to Saxon times. King Canute could not hold back the tide, for it is here that reputedly he tried and failed, and as motorists sometimes discover to their cost by parking on the hard to avoid car park charges, and they tried that at Itchenor too. Talking of Itchenor and Dalkeith, Bosham is a fantastic place for sunsets. At the northern end of its own channel is Emsworth, located just over the county border in Hampshire. There are 2 tide mills, one housing the local sailing club. It sits at the head of the harbour by a tidal pond. It is worth walking by Emsworth Channel via Warblington to Langstone. There are excellent views to Hayling Island. Langstone Bridge connects Hayling Island with the mainland at Havant. This is the western boundary of Chichester Harbour area of outstanding natural beauty. But Langstone Harbour, as opposed to Langstone Quay, is situated on the western side of the bridge and has its own protection status as a site of special scientific interest. At Langstone Quay are 2 pubs facing the channel, a mill and a group of cottages. Crossing Langstone Bridge, the boundary of the protected area hugs Hayling Island for most of the way, only occasionally coming inland, particularly as it reaches the English Channel at Eastoke Point. Here we reach the end of our journey, having travelled full circle around Chichester Harbour from West Wittering. So, having finished, I feel another sunset coming on, so let's finish with that.